Hello, Virgo, and welcome to May 2022. I do hope that this finds you well and in good spirits. As always, I have all of your cards already on the table here. You can find all of my links for readings and Reiki sessions in the description box down below. I'm currently offering 15% off on all of my services through May 16th, the day of the lunar eclipse, if you use the code ECLIPSE on my website. So if you're looking for a reading or Reiki session, now is a really great time to do that. I do also want to thank all of you who have supported this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. It is, of course, with your support that I am able to continue putting out these messages and doing this incredible work. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I do also have Patreon for those of you who wish to support the channel in that way. And I also offer weekly updates and exclusive live streams and things like that, astrology notes, which I will be referencing throughout the reading. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, maybe check out my Patreon. Anyways, Virgo, I am curious to get into your reading here. The cards are very interesting because we start off with the Wheel of Fortune, and this is showing up from the past. I feel like the collective I have been tapping into, especially with Virgo collective, it's been very beautiful energy. I've really liked the Virgo energy this year. Being a Virgo sun myself, I've definitely felt some sort of shift. But for the collective I am connecting to right now, there has been some sort of turning point or a change in chapter, something that even feels a little fated or destined. There's almost this element of testing your luck or trying something new, needing to embark on some new adventure. And with the season we are in right now, in Taurus season, this could literally be something about travel for some of you, that there could be some travel plans, that there could be some sort of opportunity that is broadening your horizons. This could also be pertaining to education as well. And I'm really thinking of the eclipse that we had at the end of April on the 30th. It actually hasn't even happened yet since at the time I'm recording this, but this eclipse at the end of April, it feels like it's actually kind of a lucky shift for you, which is really interesting because that's not normally the way we think of eclipses. They can be very intense energies. And if I were to say one thing about the Wheel of Fortune, it's a lucky sign. It's a good omen to get this card, but it can be a bit of a wild ride. And the energy with this eclipse in the end of April in Taurus really can feel a little destabilizing. And maybe things are happening a bit too quickly. Although part of the energy that we are coming into this month, things are kind of slowing down with your ruling planet Mercury going retrograde. And so you may very well be feeling it. You may very well be feeling slower. You may need to be taking some time for yourself. I'm actually kind of getting that for you. And there may even be things kind of slowing down or needing to take a step back from career or the role you fill in the world at large. But that's kind of as an aside here. There's just changes happening. There's some big shifts that are happening. It feels like they've already begun happening, or you're already feeling or sensing something is changing. And it feels like you're just entering into a new cycle, one that I really love for you because we have the Knight of Cups here, or the Son of Cups. I feel like some of you actually are in a new relationship, or there is someone new coming into your life. Could be Pisces energy, could be Cancer or Scorpio, could also be Sag. These are just kind of signs as a little extra confirmation for those who need them. If this person doesn't have those signs, don't worry about it. I feel like there's just a new cycle for your relationships as well, in addition to your own life. And I feel with this energy, it just feels very flowing and healthy. And we've had a lot in April that really has been supporting your relationships. This whole year, Virgo, has been very focused on relationships. And that's in no small part due to Venus and Jupiter being in the sign of Pisces in April. They actually joined together on the 27th. And this could really bring in some new and expansive and loving energy into your life. Or maybe you're just healing some sort of pattern, or you're deepening your relationships in some way. Whatever this new cycle is for you, Virgo, it feels very healthy. I get this glowing kind of feeling from you, and it feels very light. And things have felt very heavy for my Virgos for a very long time. Ever since I started this channel, it feels like the group I am connecting with now, there's just something that's shifting. And if this isn't representing a relationship for you, this I could see this Sun of Cups or Knight of Cups representing you just feeling this creative flow, feeling flow with your emotions. Maybe this isn't even something that's external. Maybe this is a relationship you have with yourself and your own emotions, your own feelings. And maybe there's something with self-love here, which is also very, very important and equally as beautiful, if not more. And I get this amazing, amazing energy. And now for this month, we have the World. We have the Ten of Pentacles and we have the King of Swords. Wow, 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 wow. And this is what makes me think there could be some travel for some of you this month. Despite it being a Mercury retrograde, it's actually funny because Mercury is retrograde in the sign of Gemini on the 10th, and it goes retrograde back into Taurus on the 22nd. And again, that there might be some travel this month. There might be some places you are perhaps revisiting, or ideas or notions you are revisiting. These could be perspectives, anything that kind of could be associated with a horizon, whether that is a physical horizon or some sort of metaphoric horizon, your ideals, your vision for the world, maybe your education. I feel like there is some money coming in too with the Ten of Pentacles. It feels very stable. And what I love about this specific Ten of Pentacles from the Wild Unknown deck, we have the 9 Pentacles here. And we have to look very closely, but we find the 10th Pentacle in the center of the middle Pentacle. And the way I've always read this, and what resonates for me about this card, is it's this message that this abundance, this stability, this security, ultimately comes from within. And real security, real stability, that real feeling of it, isn't so conditional on what is happening around us. We have this faith that things will be okay. But I do feel like for a lot of you, there is something here that is really opening up for you. And it feels like there's just this world of success here. And you have the Father of Swords. I feel like some of you are actually a little guarded with how well things are going. And it's interesting, after the King of Swords or Father of Swords, we do have the Mother of Swords or Queen of Swords as a challenge. And they're kind of a pair here. So maybe you do have some air sign placements, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or another person does. And it's interesting, with the way these two cards are, it's almost like they're standing back to back. It's not that they're turning another way. It's not that they're not seeing eye to eye on something. That's not the vibe that I get from this. It's like you have your back to someone else's back. It's like, I got your back, you got my back sort of energy. It feels connected in that way. So even if it's not necessarily kind of this beautiful, soulful gaze into one another's eyes, there's almost this deep level of trust and respect and adoration and devotion that comes from that for me. It's like you two are ready to fight for something, and you will fight for each other as well. That's what I get with these two energies. It's very, very interesting to me. Or maybe this is just you and something else in your life. This doesn't even necessarily need to be a romantic situation. I could even see family member situation with the Ten of Pentacles. But it does kind of feel like a relationship that's pretty much a big focus for you this year. You have each other's back, and the universe has your back too. I really feel that with the World. Maybe this is just feeling like the universe has your back. And I think that's like a Gabby Bernstein quote or something. Maybe some of you are connecting with her. I don't know her very well. I just know that that's something she says. There's like this level of support, and maybe you don't even know how to relate to that because it feels unfamiliar to you. You're still a little guarded to it. And really what I get here is like you can kind of loosen up a little bit, actually. That's kind of the energy that might be hard for you with Mercury retrograde. And if you have been successful in some way, the card for the future, we have the Four of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. And it's like sometimes you need to like give yourself a break in order for the abundance to really flow in. And by taking care of yourself, you open up your energy to receive more. And some of you are just receiving healing. I do feel like for some of you too, there is this focus on diet. That is something I could potentially see with the Six of Pentacles, at least being represented by the berries here, and resting and healing with the Four of Swords. There's something with meditation. But it feels like there's a good give and take in your life, and it feels like you don't need to put all of your energy into one thing right now. I'm almost getting a career vibe with this, kind of shifting gears for a moment. If you're working really hard on something, it's possible to overwater this thing that you're trying to make grow. And this is a very similar message. I got the same message for Cancer, actually. This is what reminded me of the Cancer reading. So if you have Cancer placements, you may want to double check that. There might be something in that reading for you there as well. But I feel like there's so much focus on your role in the world, especially in the second half of this month. And you may be really wanting to make things happen. And it might be a little bit challenging while Mercury is retrograde. I really think this is a time for you to just rest. Plus, we have an eclipse that is happening in the middle of this month. That is to say, a lot. That is happening in your third house. There could be something with siblings that's actually coming up as well with that energy, with the eclipse around the 16th. It's a very intense eclipse because it's in Scorpio, and the moon is actually considered in its fall in Scorpio. It has a sting to it, but it's a very good time to release things. And to be honest with you, there's a lot here that suggests to me about you needing to be more open in your communication and your willingness to expose yourself as this Queen of Swords here. And my God, you are so capable. I just, there is someone who is looking at you, and it's like, you look at them in a very similar way. It's like you have met your match. You have met your equal. And I think maybe on some level too, it's hard for you to take a step back and to rejuvenate because you might feel self-conscious about doing that. And again, these are general messages, so they may not all apply to you, but I get this feeling for at least some of you, you want to kind of seem put together as this Queen of Swords, this Mother of Swords. And this is actually one of your cards, especially if you are born in the last 10 days of Virgo season or have a late degree Virgo placement. And you have a very sharp mind and intellect, and that might actually be something that is kind of waning this month. Your mind could feel duller than usual, and I feel like you're more aware of it than other people, and you're feeling really self-conscious about it, and maybe you need to take some time to just rejuvenate and replenish yourself. I want to pull one more card here. Magician at the bottom of the deck. There's a lot of things that you've been manifesting that are coming to fruition. And I think that's part of this eclipse cycle. You are leaving one cycle and you are entering into a new one. And I feel like by the end of this month, in particular, the end of May, we have a new moon in Gemini, which again is kind of gracing your public platform, your career, your role in the world. Father of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Yeah, as I'm talking about this, all this stability. it's like you're making your own empire and you are finding your match to help with that, or someone who supports you in that. I really get like a power couple vibe from a lot of you here. And it's a very supportive relationship. It's like you bring out the best in each other. And you, even if you don't work together, you are able to encourage one another to do your best. Or there's just someone in your life, if this isn't a romantic thing, there's just someone in your life where you have that sort of vibe with them. It could even be someone online who is just inspiring you and really helping you see your own gifts and strength. Because I feel like you don't see the insights that you have all the time. You don't value them, or you're having a hard time valuing them. Maybe you're questioning yourself a lot this month. But I think there's something very valuable that you have, and you are going to see the value and receive its value yourself. And I think this also kind of speaks to this Aries energy we have playing out in your 8th house. You're able to just cut through things. You're able to see what lies beneath the surface and read between the lines. Because we have Mars and Jupiter in Aries forming conjunction. They're both entering this sign this month. And this could actually quite literally be like a shared sort of asset with someone as well. Maybe there is like a work situation for some of you, like a power couple situation. Tell me more about this aspect. Ace of Cups. Wow. Yeah, there is something emotional here. I could also see this too. Some of you could be opening up to your sexuality more, or opening yourself up to just be vulnerable more, kind of airing out your secrets, showing a side of yourself you don't necessarily show. And it's very healing to you. You're also very intuitive this month. With this energy kind of entering into Aries, it's giving you this sort of instinct. Or this intuition. And you are going to be releasing some things. You are going to be cutting some cords here with the 5 of Swords. And I think that's part of this new cycle. Some of you are going to be like, I don't even want to say you're walking away from an old relationship, because I feel like that's already happened. It's like there is now just something in your life where it's like you have truly moved on from something that was challenging or painful or hard, and that's where this healing really comes from. And I think that's actually in part due to this Scorpio eclipse that we have on the 16th. Even if there is a little sting to it at first, or it feels like something is severed, there's regeneration that's happening here, and worms actually regenerate too. Yeah, kind of a confirmation. The 2 of Swords, we have the eclipse in the background here. It's like there's a door that really closed, and before this would have made you sad or been painful for you, but it's like you see now when one door closed, many other opened. And I think you're truly grateful that you have walked away from a situation. Yeah, you have this hope, this spiritual guidance, this direction with the star. Your intuition is telling you there's more. And there's healing here. It's a very gentle healing. The star comes after the Tower in the tarot, after this kind of catastrophic sort of feeling. And I feel like with Mercury forming a trine with Pluto and Capricorn on the 25th, this is actually a repeat of something that happened on April 28th, which is incidentally the day I am recording this. There's just this breakthrough, and it's like you're doing something that you love, or there's just opportunities that are opening up for you. There's so much hope, and that maybe that's the thing that almost scares you. It's like things are going so well. don't be afraid of your happiness. As Virgos, we like to worry about everything, and when things feel like they're even keel, it can make us a little anxious. And I think you kind of know this, you're on top of that, you're aware of this pattern in yourself. Because honestly, this energy is so beautiful. I'm really trying to like pull some threads here, like what is going on that we can kind of work or understand better. Virgo, you're in a great energy this month. And that's truly, genuinely a little surprising to me with how intense the astrology is. And we have your ruling planet going retrograde. But it's happening in such a way where it's like, you might be your own worst enemy because you might not be giving yourself the time. You might be too worried about giving yourself room to breathe. But I feel like you naturally are going in that direction anyway. You kind of need to take it easy at certain points this month. And as long as you do that, I think you're going to be great. And you're actually going to be grateful that you've done the things you need to do to take care of yourself, because it's going to help things be so much more fruitful in your life. I'm going to pull some animal cards for you now. I actually felt the moon deck, so I'm going to pull a moon card for you from this Moonology Oracle. I love this deck so much. If anyone's curious, I always have my decks in the description box down below in the videos as well. I always get asked every month what decks I use, so that is always available, or usually available. New moon, a new start is coming. Yeah, there's so many new beginnings in your life. Virgo, I love this energy. I really, really do. It's like you've been in this place for so long where it felt like everything was over and ending, and now there's just so much new energy, and it's so, so beautiful. And I think when Venus enters into Taurus at the end of this month as well, that's a very natural placement. It's the domicile placement. Venus rules over Taurus. We actually have a lot of harmony by the end of this month, or throughout this month, even though there's some intensity. We have Mars entering into Aries. Mars rules Aries. We have Mercury in Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini. We have Venus in Taurus. There we go. We also have Jupiter in Pisces for some of the part. We have Neptune in Pisces. Both of those planets rule over Pisces. Like, there's a lot of things that are just falling into place, and for some reason I feel compelled to share that with you specifically, Virgo. There's so many new beginnings, and things are just very aligned right now. Interesting. New moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. There is something about give and take here, but, I did want to also say, like, give to yourself, give to the things you want to grow. And I actually did wonder if some of you were giving some of your abundance to another person. That could be a message for some of you. Maybe there is something that you are meant to share with someone, or support someone in some way, or a group in some way. But this is in your sign. This is a new you, Virgo. This is a new beginning. And you are feeling very in tune. You're feeling very rooted in yourself and in your life. Ah, yum. Yum, yum, yum. And I just want to laugh because we have the supermoon card at the bottom of the deck here. Emotions are running high. This has shown up in literally like so many of the readings. I think this is the 4th time this has shown up. You're the 6th reading I've done. There's some pretty crazy emotions, but honestly, Virgo, you're very grounded this month. Somehow you find the way to be grounded, despite all of this, like, kind of happening in some pretty crazy parts of your chart. We have Mercury going retrograde, your ruling planet, but you're the one who's, like, very centered. You might not see it, but I think you're more sensitive to your sort of fogginess than other people are. We have the Sea Serpent card, beautiful. This is the sacral chakra. This is our ability to express ourselves, to feel nurtured, to create things. You have a totally different way of relating to your emotions now. And I think some of you are just expressing your truth. You're being very open and very authentic. And it's not in a way that overwhelms people. It's actually in a way that opens other people's authenticity. Other people are relieved that you are able to just say what you need to say. And I think that's kind of like, I got your back, you got my back. Like, I'm not going to just not say something to make things feel easy or comfortable. I'm going to say what needs to be said because that's what friends do. That's what lovers do. That's what family does. And it's not in a way that sparks conflict even. I really don't get that for a lot of you. I feel like even if there is a little bit of some turbulence, it's very temporary. Communication is just very open. And now is the time to open your heart. Now is the time to speak your truth and really express yourself. And some of you are going to be healing your sacral chakra this month. And there's many, many ways to do that. I feel like some of you are, I get the impression of like healing with water, actually, with the Sea Serpent card. And the sacral chakra is elementally associated with the water element. Some of you could be spending time on the beach. Some of you could be spending time in the bath. I got a lot of bath imagery, actually. And there's just some sort of healing ritual like that. Spending time by water this month is very healing for you. What else do we have? Is there anything else we have for Virgo? God, I give you guys the longest readings. I spoil you, Virgo. I'm kidding. We have the zebra. Interesting energy. Very often when this card comes up, there is travel or there are new opportunities. There is getting out of this black and white of life and seeing things in color. There's something kind of exotic or exciting or just different feeling about this month. And it's really breaking you out of this heavy, stagnant energy that I think you've already been loosening or freeing yourself from. And I keep hearing the word like technicolor as well. It's like you're just seeing things so vibrantly. Life is really just so vivid for you right now. And even if there are emotions that are coming up that feel kind of intense, it feels cathartic to me. And it's like, oh man, I've bottled that in for so long. And now that I've just let it out and just had a good cry about it, I can breathe. That's just this energy I get for you. Man, I'm so loving this month for you, Virgo. I hope that this reading was helpful. I hope that it gave you something to look forward to or just gave you some perspective shifts that are helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Again, all of my links are in the description box down below. If you're looking for a reading or Reiki session, there is a sale until the 16th, so snag that while you can. And I will see you all in the next video. I'm sending you so many blessings and all my love your way, Virgo, and I'm wishing you a very happy and blessed May.